Aoi Todo is a powerful and eccentric Jujutsu sorcerer in the anime and manga series Jujutsu Kaisen, famous for his immense physical strength, loud personality, and bizarre obsession with asking people what kind of women they like. Despite acting ridiculous and overly dramatic, Todo is actually highly intelligent in battle and possesses incredible combat instincts. He becomes an unexpected ally and mentor figure to Yuji Tadori, helping him grow stronger during intense fights. His curse technique, Boogie Woogie, allows him to instantly swap positions with people or objects by clapping his hands, making him one of the most unpredictable fighters in the series. Let's see how he can achieve his physique, strength, combat style, and athleticism. First of all, his physique and strength. Todo has a bodybuilder-like physique, so obviously he isn't natural. He is overall aesthetic. Nothing much to say except we will be focusing on hypertrophy more than anything else, because muscle mass is his main feature, I'll say. Strength-wise, he is also goated. He's got a lot of strength for the muscle mass, which is incredibly good. Sadly, we can't have the best of both worlds, so it will be first muscle mass, then the strength. We will mainly train for isolation. For his combat style, it's tricky. He uses stances from boxing and kickboxing, but he also uses open-handed movements, like in Kung Fu and Karate. And he also uses MMA sometimes. It is really hard to establish what is the main combat style, but I'll say kickboxing is his main style. Then comes Kung Fu or Karate, and only then MMA. There is a combat style that mixes all of them, and it is Taijutsu. Taijutsu used to be a popular combat style back in the days, but now it's almost forgotten. Basically, you'll train for fast and hard punches and kicks, with grappling and wrestling. So, Taijutsu is literally everything you can do barehanded. We will do this. And finally, athleticism. Todo, for his muscle mass, is fabulously athletic. He has no problem whatsoever with fast movements, flexibility, endurance, and speed. Our focus will be on explosiveness and endurance. We will train the first with plyometrics and the second by simply doing cardio. Doing cardio here is non-negotiable, because a lot of muscle mass can be really hard on your cardiovascular system. So to avoid heart problems, cardio is a must. Speed will come along explosiveness and the combat training, and the flexibility will be done on the rest days. Once again, flexibility is vital for this type of physique, because if you don't do it, your muscles will become stiff and you lose range of motion. So flexibility will counter this by giving you more range of motion, helping you avoid injuries and helping you with recovery. Alright, so here we are, the workout plan. So we will have 2 upper days and 2 lower days. Each exercise will have the following structure: the exercise, the number of sets times the number of reps. Maximum 2 working sets here, because more than 2 will straight up damage the muscle and bring more fatigue than your nervous system could handle. Before telling me that I'm wrong, let me tell you that the nervous system recovers more slowly than the muscular system, and the nervous system commands muscle contraction. So that's why we will not give more than 2 working sets per exercise. The number of reps will sit at 9 to 10 and max. The 9 to 10 is more for hypertrophy with a touch of strength. This will give the maximum amount of useful hypertrophy. What I mean by useful is that the 9 to 10 rep range will give mass and the strength needed to progressively overload. If you go higher than 10 reps, you lose useful strength and you'll gain meaningless mass. And the max rep range is generally speaking for the maximum amount of reps, but can also be for maximum amount of seconds. Here we go, upper one. We'll start with weighted dips. Weighted dips is an excellent exercise for pushing strength. We'll work the pecs, front delts and triceps. Doing them on rings will strengthen the muscles even more, since you need to stabilize yourself even more. Next, we have weighted chin-ups, an incredibly good exercise for back, biceps and rear delts. For muscle mass, I prefer the chin-ups since they are more focused on isolation. Next, lateral raises to create the boulder shoulders we want. The combat training will give them strength and endurance. Next, we have dumbbell shoulder press. Even though we have the combat training and dips for the front delts, giving them an extra boost won't harm them. This will come in handy for the punching strength. I recommend you set up the bench at an angle of 80 degrees. And finally, incline biceps curls for arms strengthening and thickening. I recommend you set up the bench at an angle of 45 degrees to hit the sweet spot for tension in the muscle. Now upper 2, starting with inclined dumbbell bench press. Since we mainly work the middle and lower portion of the pecs, we have to target the shelf part of the pecs, the upper portion. It will help with pushing strength. If you have a big rib cage, I recommend you set up the bench at an angle of 45 degrees, and if you have a normal rib cage, set it at around 30 degrees. Moving on to barbell rows. This is a good exercise for back thickening and strengthening, helping with pulling actions like bringing your arm back to strike harder. Next, lateral raises, once again for the side delts mass. After that, reverse flies. It is one of the best exercises for rear delts mass. It will shape your mid-back and delts. You can either do them with cables or on the machine. And finally, cable overhead extension. This is one of the best exercises for triceps, if not the best if done with the straight bar or V-bar. Those bar variations are perfect for strength, and forget the rope. Strength-wise, it is not the best. Moving on to lower one, starting strong with leg extensions. This will build a monstrous mass and strength for the quads. This will help for kicking. Next, seated leg curls. The seated variation is the best if you want mass. This will give mass and strength to the hamstrings. After this, calf raises. For explosivity and pushing leg strength, this is an excellent exercise. Next, shrugs. I know this is an upper body exercise, but we did everything we had to do for legs, so we will put the traps in here. This will help when you carry heavy things and will give a better look to your physique. And finally, hollow body hold. Hold the position as much as possible. This will strengthen your core, absolutely vital for the strength exercises and hand-to-hand fighting. And last but not least, lower 2, plyometrics day. Plyometrics get a dedicated day because they are ultra demanding on the nervous system. If you do them, you have to give it your all, like every exercise in here, otherwise it will be useless. So my go-to is as follows: box, broad, hurdle jumps and lateral bounds. Every exercise here will give you explosiveness. Box jumps will give vertical explosiveness. Broad jumps will help with horizontal explosiveness and to some degree with sprinting explosiveness. Hurdle jumps are a mix between horizontal and vertical explosiveness. And finally, lateral bounds help you change direction fast, without losing momentum. Do as many as you can, but if you feel that you are slowing down or that you are using too much strength, stop there and rest. Generally speaking, the ideal explosive rep range is between 3 to 6 reps. And finally, do leg raises, either hanging or with the supported arms. This will build abs mass. Do as many reps as possible. With all of this, there are some things you should know and apply. Always have a proper execution for every exercise and warm up. Give yourself 2 warm-up sets and go light, don't already burn yourself. Rest 2 to 3 minutes before every exercise, and that is the warm-up sets too. On every upper and lower days, practice taijutsu. Just break a sweat, get your heart rate steady and don't overdo it. Practice for maximum 30 minutes. On every rest day, stretch for approximately 20 minutes and please keep the rest days rest days. I say this in almost every anime physique video, but if you don't let your nervous system rest, at least one full day, your progress will diminish and you'll delay recovery, and so you'll delay results. So do 1 day on, 1 day off. If you can do that, do 1 day on, 2 days off. It could work even better, it depends on your nervous system recovery ability, and a lot of factors like testosterone amount, sleep, food, etc. And finally, after every workout, run at a reasonable pace for 15 minutes. Breathe through your nose only, but if you can't, breathe through your mouth. The nose breathing will build more lasting endurance and will force you not to overdo it. To be jacked like Todo, you need to be between 12 and 15% body fat, so choose which percentage fits you the best. For this, you need to know your BMR and TDEE. Once you know them, you'll have to figure out if you need to be on a cut, bulk or maintenance. To make it simple, if you are way above your wanted body fat percentage, because you have too much body fat, be on a caloric deficit. If you are way under your wanted body fat percentage, be on a caloric surplus. And if you are around your wanted body fat percentage, be on a caloric maintenance or slight surplus to equilibrate with the mass gained. If you want to know more things about nutrition, I made 2 videos. The first one talks about the foundations of nutrition, macronutrients and micronutrients. The second one talks about the gut-brain axis, the link between your mental and physical well-being and the food you eat. If you want to learn more things about the muscular system, check out my video on the matter. And finally, if you want to see the other physiques I covered, check the playlist up here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was everything I had to say. If you enjoyed, let me know it in the comments. If you want to see another physique on here, let me know it in the comments too. And we will meet next time for some other video. And like always, take care.